Hello YouTube, this is the last video before I move up to the American region of cutlery, and this is going to be kind of a mix of different knives from different areas. It's not going to be specific to the Mediterranean or New Zealand or Sweden, but I don't have these are all individual knives that are very famous in their own region, but like with the German knives and the French knives, I had several of those knives to show you from that region. And in these countries, I only have one representative for those countries, so I'm going to put them in the same video. We want to start off with New Zealand and the Sworld Peasant knife. This is a friction feudal, and the things I like about it is that it's really cheap. It's a good bait knife or beetle knife, just like the Cold Steel Kudu. It's carbon steel, but what I like about it most is so easy to open one-handed. And basically you hold it like you're doing a handshake, and you squeeze down, and it just opens really nicely. Things I don't like about the blade is that it's relatively thick at the point, has kind of a lot of belly. I'm not a big fan of belly on EDC knives. This is not a good knife to clean your fingernails with, or cut coupons, or opening up mail. It'll be good for cutting up food. It'll be good for a bait knife and other utilitarian tasks, but it's just not a good EDC knife in my opinion. Good beetle, not so much good EDC knife. So I'm gonna put that right there. Really cheap. If you wanted to buy it and maybe modify it and kind of customize it, that's a good way to go. Moving to Sweden, we got Mora of Sweden. This is the Mora #1. Cody Lundin is pretty famous for using this knife. Carbon steel, very round. This is a bushcraft knife, and it has very little hot spots, if any hot spots. I have more experience with my Mora 2000, but I have used this knife. It has a good point, Scandinavian edge, carbon steel. Good bushcraft knife, good camping knife, good hunting knife. Very, very sharp. I want to mention this, with most of the regional knives, the cheap peasant everyday knives that are famous in different regions, like the Philippines, Japan, France, Germany, there are knives that represent them are not that sharp. You have to kind of put your own edge at them when you get them out of the box. But once you do get them sharp, they're very good cutters, except for this one. This one will get razor sharp, but it's not the best. But most of them, they have good grinds, and once you get them sharp, they're excellent cutters. And the Mora and the Nortel are probably some of the best edges out of the box when it comes to these regional knives. So I want to show that to you. And this whole series is just to introduce you to different regional knives from different countries. If you're wanting to start a knife collection and you want to know where to start, like you can pretty much collect nothing but French knives and be on the hunt for knives for a long time. There's a lot of different European knife blades that us Americans are not even aware of. And there's a YouTube channel. I'm going to have to look it up. It's like, the guy's name's Stefan Chamilis, I think. I'm dyslexic, so I can't read his name that well, but he specializes in reviewing European and gentleman's knives. So he has a few American knives in there, but he does a lot of European blades, mostly German, French, and Italian, but he does do Sardinian and stuff. By the way, speaking of Sardinia, we have the Patata knife, or Roselette, I think it's also known as. This knife retains in the open position, but once you close it, it doesn't retain very well. And this, I was very disappointed in it. Didn't come with the best edge, and it doesn't retain without having it in the leather pouch. And this is a artisan knife. One man sees through the whole production of one knife. So it was not very affordable. It's the everyday knife of Patata, of Sardinia, but this one just isn't that good. So I'm going to put that right there. This is the Mora. And my favorite European blade that I carry, and this one is not made in Spain, but is a cold steel interpretation of a Spanish Navaja Craca. This is the not Spinnaker, but the cold steel Espada, and it is modeled after a Spanish Navaja from the Andalusian region of Spain. And I'm willing to bet this is one of the more influential knife designs to come out of Europe. You know, it's not really well known about, but it was kind of the inspiration for the Laguiole knife. It was the inspiration for the Case Texas toothpick, or the Case powder horn knife, or powder horn knives in general. The Spanish Navaja made its way into the UK, made its way into like Mexico and California during the 19th century. Navajas date back to the 15th century, and they were known as the knives of bandits, gamblers, thugs, and sailors, and gypsies. They were known as the knife of Spain's underbelly, and I consider it to be the grandfather of all tactical photos. And so it's a really cool knife. It has its own treatise on how to use it, and the Spanish knife fighting system has reached many different, well, a few different continents. North America, South America, Central America, Puerto Rico, basically Latin America owes its knife fighting tradition to Spain. And the Bowie knife fighting system owns its heritage to both Spain and England, possibly a little bit of French, but with the Bowie knife fighting techniques are very reminiscent of Navaja fighting techniques. So to me, the Spanish Navaja Craca, or civilian steel, is one of the more influential knives to come out of Europe. And so those are those knives. I'm going to move on to the American knives that represent America. So thank you for watching. I'm Asatsu5. I'm out.